remember back in '94 when the Cleveland Indians went 3-24 in spring training and went on to win the AL Central? Well, it's all well and good, but that's actually the plot to Major League 2, and 2016 doesn't look like it's going to have a Hollywood ending for the Atlanta Braves. It seems like forever ago, this guy was roaming the sidelines in Athens. He's gone now, but that doesn't mean he can't come back to the Peach State every now and then.
Living in the moment. Was this a good interview? Did we live in the moment in this one?
Great job. I felt nowhere but here the whole time.
That's what I like to hear. I was about ready to take a charge halfway through this interview.
It's all about the ladies tonight. Susie Gardner and the Lady Bears just have decided not to lose in the new year. What's the big draw to Macon? What's the big thing that stands out the most? And overwhelmingly, you're going to hear people talk about the music scene and the great culture that comes with that. Well, the Eastern Conference isn't as much of a two-team race as people believe. Cleveland, been very inconsistent at times, and Toronto, yet to show the ability to actually make it past the first round. Thanks, Kerry. Well, a win is a win, and that's probably the best way to sum up Game 1 for the Hawks on Saturday. Atlanta blew a 17-point halftime lead to the Celtics, but were able to rally and take Game 1 at home. Tuesday, Hawks looking to maintain home court advantage over Boston. Marcus Smart starting in place of the injured Avery Bradley. He had very little impact when it comes to the highlights here. A big impact from base god Kent Bazemore, the steal, the three, and it's one that's going to make you nauseous. Get in there! And we can't show the highlights of people making a ton of threes and not show Special K because Kyle Korver hit a lot of them. On one. He goes off in the first half. Not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 first-half threes. Hawks jump out to a huge lead. Their defense was superb. Atlanta going into Boston up 2-0. They win Game 2, 89-72. We'll never underestimate a guy that wears rec specs, and the Dodgers learned that the hard way. Atlanta taking on Los Angeles. Tyler Flowers had himself a game. The catcher doing work at the dish. He goes 4 for 4 with 3 RBIs. You can get that at Wendy's. He also got it at Turner Field tonight, just what the doctor ordered for the Braves. Atlanta jumps out to a 6-1 lead. Flowers' batting average jumping to .412 on the season. Malik Smith added some insurance runs for the Braves, and they were winners of their last 4. They take this one 8-1 over the Dodgers. Now, sticking with the Braves, the MLB and the Players Union have decided to extend Braves outfielder Hector Olivera's administrative leave of absence by 2 weeks. Olivera was arrested last week for allegedly assaulting a woman outside a Washington, D.C. hotel. Major League Baseball's new domestic violence policy states a player can be on paid leave up to 7 days, but the Players Association has agreed to give league officials 2 more weeks to investigate before an official ruling is made. Well, it's safe to say 93,000 fans at Sanford Stadium were impressed with what they saw of the Bulldogs on Saturday. The main story of the day on G-Day, of course, the quarterback position, but Kirby Smart insists, guys, the battle inside the trenches is where the wins and losses will fall for the Bulldogs. Georgia loses some big horses on the offensive line and with their pass rush, but Kirby thinks both units have room to grow, literally. Georgia was in need of a pregame entertainment on G-Day and word of mouth. It spreads to Ludacris. He rolled out for the game on Saturday, but the rapper made sure G-Day would be his moneymaker. Ludacris got a nice paycheck, $65,000 for his 15-minute performance. Now, Luda wasn't the first option. Negotiations with other acts fell through at the last minute. Ludacris called Georgia, said he'd be more than happy to do it. Not a bad payday for Ludacris, $65,000.
The rink sits as a canvas, a sheet of pure white mystery begging to be crafted. The stick, or brush, with every movement, carefully and meticulously, shapes the portrait. With every color, pass, stroke, or check, our masterpiece slowly appears in front of our eyes. The ties between hockey and painting are surprisingly similar, so no one understands it better than the Picasso of pucks, Mayhem defenseman Mike Wills.
People don't judge a book by its cover after they see me.
The 25-year-old rookie has a hidden talent that extends outside of the rink.
A lot of guys cook on our team or have a hobby, and mine just has to be art.
A diehard hockey fan from the word go, Will's other passion developed later in the game.
I went into high school, started to develop my skills, and one of my teachers showed me oil painting. So then I fell in love with it.
A graduate of Oswego State University, Wills majored in art while playing on one of the nation's powerhouse programs. Balancing both hockey and art became second nature.
It's kind of the best of both worlds, but one kind of takes a preference and one kind of takes the back seat, and then it kind of flip-flops here and there.
Wills says many understand the grind of a hockey player, but the work ethic of a painter goes unnoticed.
People kind of don't see the the hard work that goes into it, but it's 4 to 6 hours a day.
To those who still judge a book by its cover, Wills' paintings aren't your typical bowl of fruit or dogs playing poker.
Most of the people kind of go, wow, like he's really like an emotional painter. I don't know if you can see it in my work, but most of the stuff is kind of with a presence, like a dark presence. Coming off the bus, that's all you see is kind of the dark and then lights.
All of the effort poured into his paintings were admired by his friends and family, but there was just one more group he had to impress.
Go Mayhem, baby!
A group of rowdy hockey teammates.
They kind of made some jokes at first, and then I started producing some art, and then they saw it, and they were kind of like, wow, this, he's no joke. So
When he first told me that he's an artist, I was amazed, because hockey players are usually known as those tough guys that never read books and never do anything except stick handle and skating.
While the two passions caused a divide, this time around, one benefited the other.
I'm playing for Making Mayhem, and then through the Making Mayhem, I get a show.
That brings us to the Sochi Gallery in downtown Macon, where Wills put his paintings on display and for sale. The Mayhem's Monet only had 4 weeks to produce more than a dozen pieces. The night, an overwhelming success.
I had to kind of put my nose to the grindstone and really work my butt off, but it all came out in the end, and it's been awesome.
Kind of like the untitled work he has here, where it kind of just leads, you to make it kind of what you want it to be.
And yes, maybe the night was a little extra successful, proving his tough guy teammates wrong about his artwork.
This is actually really incredible, and I'm fascinated that he is not only, he can concentrate on two things at the same time, because it's really hard.
From the ice to the studio, the stick and the brush of Mike Wills are magical. And that's why he became the Mayhem's Monet.
It's really nice to have those two pinnacle moments of making pro hockey and being a pro artist, but having them come together, it's just so surreal for me right now.
Bro, do you even lift? Well, the answer to that question, an easy yes over at Dublin High School. Members of the Fighting Irish football team back at it in the weight room, gearing up for next season. Now, any coach will tell you the success on the field all starts with pumping some iron.
Off-season strength and conditioning is a big focus on every football team and every athletic department in the state of Georgia.
Each program has a different approach to hitting their lifting goals. Irish strength coach Lance Helton says winning the one-on-one battle with the weights is the key.
The first thing we're going to try to do is push the emphasis on toughness and effort. You versus the bar mentality. Have a plus mentality. Get stronger every day. Don't stay the same.
Many see the offseason as a period of downtime, but for most football programs, it's just as demanding as the fall season.
Start at 7:30 in the morning, you're working all day, then you got to come over here and get an hour and a half workout. Then you got to go back to school for probably like 2 more classes. You really don't have that much of a break.
It's very hard. The average person wouldn't be able to come in here to do it. And I don't think any other team is working any harder than we're working right now.
The Irish are giving fans an opportunity to see just how important off-season strength training really is. In a few weeks, Dublin will open its doors to the public for the team's Lift-a-thon, which Helton hopes will turn some heads.
What they don't have something to gauge you by is your off-season training. And we're able right now to open that gym up on March the 30th at 6 o'clock in an environment where it's free for our community and it's all about supporting our youth.
It'll be a day of high intensity, hard work, grit, and screaming teammates. For Dublin, that'll do just fine.
There's nothing better. There's nothing better to build your team and your camaraderie.